do some short videos just on what I eat through the week. I know it's really hard to stay healthy on the road, and I just wanted to share a few things with you that I do that might make it easier for you, or ideas that you've never thought of. I'll put the recipes separate so that you can go through and just pick out the ones that you want. Excuse my kitchen, we are living in a mess at the moment. We're having a big extension put on. We're living in this kitchen that is not really sufficient, but that's life. Please bear with me on that. We're actually draining the boiler down to have it taken out today, so we won't have any heating for the rest of the year probably, which with the gas prices at the moment is probably not a bad thing. We've ripped the ceiling down. We're actually taking that chimney breast out, so there's going to be beams across there, beam across there, and a beam across there, so that we can actually open out and build into the extension. So this won't always be like this, and one day I will have a really nice house. Right, so the first one that I'm going to show you is something that I find really, really easy. I get up on a Sunday morning and I'll put all the veg together and put it into the slow cooker, and then literally I can leave it and go off and do whatever I want throughout the day. So this one is going to be like a chicken hot pot stew, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know the difference between a hot pot and a stew, but I always chuck the vegetables in, chuck the meat in, potatoes, and then I've got a nice round healthy meal for the week. First thing I will chuck in is the leeks. So I'll cut the ends off. I have already washed these actually, but what I also do is chuck all the remnants into a bowl, because we have a compost heap, and one day we are going to have enough vegetables grown of our own, hopefully, that we won't need to buy too many vegetables. Part of the thing that we want to actually do here is we've got quite a big garden. We want to be almost self-sufficient, certainly in vegetables.
Once I've chopped the vegetables, I put them into a preheated pan with oil and just sear them for a couple of minutes.
So once that's seared slightly, I just put it in to the pan, chuck that back on the hob. And next we have some celery. I won't sing the song, it's alright. Doesn't need a lot, and then I'll just chuck that into the mix as well. Then I'm probably going to put in about 4 carrots, because I'm making basically, well, I should be away for 4 nights. It might be 5, but I normally plan for 4 nights. And then if I am stuck out on a 5th night, then I can treat myself. Right. So they go in there as well. Doesn't look very many, but it was 4 carrots. Then we go for, what's it for? Now, pick out, what am I going to do? There's 4 big ones, 4 small ones, and then, you know, that would be then kind of your meal allowance, wouldn't it? you know, on your plate or whatever. So I'm going to wash these, and I'm actually going to do the skin on, because I quite like skin on potatoes. But you can take the skin off, it doesn't have to, you know, anything that I'm doing. You know, kind of the beauty of these recipes is that, you know, if you don't like a certain vegetable, just swap it out for another vegetable. Right, so after that we will chuck that in, and I'm actually just going to sear off the chicken. Just going to give this like a little mix so that it's all mixed in together. Looks really nice. Once that's done, you can, as you can see, it is seared. So I'm just going to stick those on the top. Yeah. And you can choose any meat you want with this. So the last thing I'm going to do is make the mix that goes on top. So I bought a chicken casserole mix from Aldi. So I will chop the top off, and that can go in my little jug. I put in some mixed herbs, a little bit of pepper. I don't put salt in because the packet mix, the casserole mix, has got salt in it, so I don't think you need it. I have just boiled the kettle. So I'm not going to put a lot in, because if you put in too much liquid, there's a lot of liquid that comes out of the vegetables and out of the chicken, and then it makes it really runny. So you only kind of need probably, if I put in there, not even 400 ml, and I think that even that will probably be a bit too much. And I am going to put in a large teaspoon of mustard. Marmite also has quite a lot of salt in, but it's full of B vitamins, and also you cannot taste it in the cooking. So I like, well, depending on how much you put in, I like a big scoop of it to put into the mix, and it'll melt down with the hot water. It adds so much flavour, but it doesn't taste like, if you don't like Marmite, honestly, it doesn't taste like Marmite. But you pour this all over the top. Yeah, I have done too much. All there is to do now is put the lid on and put it on high for 20 minutes, and then once it's on high for 20 minutes you turn it down to low. So I can leave this now for sort of 6 to 8 hours. You can leave it in longer if you want, but I try and do about 8 hours. Then I can put it into Tupperware and it's ready for work for tomorrow. Parked up, so I'm going to stick this in the fridge. I'm going to stick this in the microwave to warm it up for my tea. There's the finished product, piping hot. Lovely. So this is one of my go-to little meals for rush. I haven't got time to prepare anything before I go to work. So what we have is some fine green beans, some microwavable rice, some cheese and parmesan, creamy parmesan cheddar, and, well, I've got some black peppered mackerel fillets, but I also do it with salmon or chicken or anything that's pre-cooked meat, basically. I'll open the packet and I'll take a handful of full of beans. This will normally last me like 3 days or so. And just break them in half. And I'm just going to put them in a little tub with a lid on it and stick them in the microwave for a couple of minutes. So then what I'm going to do is get another tub, which is going to be what I'm going to eat out of as well. So I will put in half a sachet of rice, because this does say on it, it serves 2, I think. Yeah, well, it says on the calories, but half a pack is 181 calories. I go for the Mexican style rice just because I think it's like got a bit more flavour. Right, so about half is there, and then I'll save the rest for, I'll put it back in the fridge and save it for tomorrow. And then I'll put the mackerel fillets in as well. Just break them up into the tub. So I use half today and half tomorrow. And then I've got some barbecue chicken bits to put in for the last couple of days, so I can do it with fish or chicken. Clean my hands up. And you don't really need the sauce. This is, for half a pouch is 113 calories. So you don't really need the sauce, but no, I quite like it. Just adds that extra flavour. And I'll put about half the packet on there. Save the rest for tomorrow. That's all in there. I'll put that in the microwave after the vegetables, and you can choose any vegetable to go with this. They do quite well in the microwave, and depending on how you like your vegetables depends on how much you put them on for. So if you like them quite, like, what's the word, al dente, then you don't need to put them in for so long. But if you like them quite well done, which I do, then you need to put them in for a bit longer. So now I'll get my vegetables out of there, and they can stay steaming in there, and I will put in my rice, fish and sauce, and I will make sure that it's super hot. So I've taken this out of the microwave, and it is, as you can see, piping hot, which it needs to be when you're cooking things like fish or chicken or rice. It really does need to be super hot. And also, you can only reheat this sort of stuff once. So if you don't fancy it, then you cannot reheat it again. I'm just going to chuck my vegetables in on top, and there is my lovely meal, and I'm going to really enjoy it. It actually, do you what? This meal is probably one of my favourite meals to have. So actually, not having time at the weekend isn't too bad. Yeah, I'll give you a little look. Today I am making a sausage casserole type thing. I might turn the sound off and talk over it because we're currently having a window taken out there, or we are taking a window out over there to brick up, because that's going to go into the garage. I'm doing sausages, peppers, tomatoes, red onion, sweet potato, mushrooms, and then I put in my mustard, Marmite, but it's fake Marmite, it's Aldi Marmite, and sausage casserole mix. Oh, and some mixed herbs. That's what I'm putting in it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'll talk over what I'm doing because my Ryan is banging away. But this is why I'm doing this now, because this is real life, and when you're trying to be healthy and people are saying, oh yeah, but you should do this, you should do that, and it's difficult because you just want to scream at them. I don't have time, and this is why I'm trying to show kind of easy ways. So this is something that you would need sort of half an hour to 45 minutes to do. Oh, there's Ken, my next door neighbour. So yeah, I'm just going to get on with it and talk over, and you can get the gist of what I'm doing.
The first thing I do is decore the peppers and slice them up. Then all I do with the cherry tomatoes is wash them and put them into the slow cooker. Then I chop the onion and put that into the slow cooker as well. The next thing I do is peel the sweet potato, and then I will chop it into small pieces and also put that into the slow cooker. Unlike the slow cooked chicken that I did, I'm not going to sear the vegetables on this one. It's a step that helps to lock in the flavour if you have time to do it, but if you don't, then it doesn't really matter. I then wash and chop the mushrooms and also add that to the slow cooker. Then Ryan calls me over to give him a hand just pushing the window out. And then I'm back to it. The next and the best thing to go in is the sausages, and I cut the strings and put them into the slow cooker. Then I pour my sausage casserole mix into a jug, and I mix that in with about 300 ml of hot water. Next I put in a generous helping of mixed herbs, along with a teaspoon of mustard. I use whole grain, and then a large teaspoon of Marmite or Vegemite if you like. I mix this around well so there's no lumps and everything is dissolved. Then I just pour it over everything that I've already put into the slow cooker. I put the lid on and turn it on to high for 20 minutes. Well, it would help if I plugged it in first. So I put it on high for 20 minutes and then turn it down to low, and after 8 hours it looks like this. So we've bricked up the window, I've put some dye on my hair, I've got loads done today. My dinners for the week are done. All I need to do now is put them into my Tupperware, let them cool, put them in the fridge, and they'll be ready for tomorrow. Now that's ready for me to take to work tomorrow. That's going to be really good. I am going to really, really enjoy this. That's good. So this week I am going to make a lasagna, and I'm going to make it in the way that I make for my stepchildren. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to eat vegetables, doesn't like the taste, texture, then this is a recipe for you, because although you are going to know that there's vegetables in there because you're making it, it's a way of getting vegetables into your food if you want to become healthier. If you want to make that step into having vegetables but you just don't want to see them. I understand that some people just don't like things but they want to be healthier. So if that's you, this is a way to get vegetables into meals without really knowing that they're there. which I think for some people is really important, and we're all different, so you know, you can do this method with lots of different recipes, with cottage pies and stuff like that, so bear that in mind when somebody says, oh, we'll put vegetables in something. This is the way I get vegetables into my stepchildren. Some people would say I was an evil stepmom, and some people would say that I'm really kind for doing it so that they're healthier. But anyway, here goes. The first thing I am going to do is just chop down an onion. And to be fair, like, you know, onions are something that is really, really good for flavour. I know they're sort of a very strong vegetable. It gives so much flavour to well, any meal really. Okay, so I've also got some courgettes here, which I'm gonna just give a quick wash, and then I'll just chop them down into manageable slices, and then go into my blender with the onions. Let me blend. What I do is I heat a pan with a little bit of oil, and all that's mixed up now. So once that's warmer, then I will put that into the pan. I'm just going to chop up some peppers to add into the mix also. And you can do this with any vegetable that you like. So if you've got some carrots or broccoli, and broccoli you can tend to see in things a bit better, but if you want to hide it, just choose veg that is easy to hide. So I'm just going to slice these down. Once that's heated up, I can pour my green mixture into So basically what I'm doing with that, I'm reducing it down, so trying to get as much water out of it as possible by cooking it, and then that will mean that my lasagna won't be too watery. So then I put all my peppers in. If you didn't want to go too overboard on the veg, you could just do like a couple of vegetables. I like to think that I'm getting my vegetables in with it. Oh, and I'm going to put some mushrooms in. Normally, mushrooms are something that I would put in like this, but for the sake of this video, I am going to chop them in with this, just to show you how it can be done. Right. So once that's done, yes, it doesn't look that appetizing, but it's all good for you. So that goes into the mix as well. And then all I do is just reduce that mixture right down so that it's a lot drier. There's a lot of water in vegetables, and when I've done my other dishes in the slow cooker, a lot of water has come out of the vegetables, so that's why I've not put too much juice in. Sometimes if you have too much water, it can make it a bit soggy, so this is why I'm doing it this way. Ryan's home from work now.
Delicious.
Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is put the meat into another pan that I've heated up and fry that off. Make sure you take the paper bit off, because it doesn't taste very nice. I've just stirred this around until it's gone from pink to a sort of browny colour. Ryan's also poured me a nice glass of the finest Somerset apple juice. And I'm just going to add the tomato sauce lasagna mix in with the meat. So the meat's starting to let off a lot of water now as well, so that needs to be sort of reduced off. So then once that has cooked and reduced, I'm going to mix the two together. So I'm going to transfer what is in this pan into this one. Mix all that in with the green. You just literally cannot tell that there are vegetables in there. It just looks like meat and sauce. So now I can turn the hob off. I can get my lasagna dish. So I'm just going to scoop some of the meat and veg mixture into the bottom of the tray. Push all that down into the corners, and then I'm going to get my lasagna sheets, and I'm just going to move this away. Yeah, I'm just going to lay the sheets on top. Move these up a little bit. It doesn't matter if they overlap slightly. So you want the mixture really to be not too dry and not too wet, because basically the moisture within the meat and veg mixture needs to plump up the lasagna sheets. So then once that's done, we can put on some of the cream sauce. So you want about 1/3 of the jar. So this is just a thin layer. So this is also kind of moisturising the lasagna sheets, making them very creamy and nice. So you want to do a full coverage in the creamy sauce right into the corners, because you don't want any dry corners. Then we go back to our meaty mix, and we can take a couple more scoopfuls of the meaty mix, and then once again push it out into the corners.
I repeat this to make 3 layers of meat, pasta and white sauce.
And then we can use the remainder of the jar. I normally leave quite a bit for the top just because that's the bit that can be the driest. So push that all the way to the corners, covering all of the pasta. Last but not least, I'm going to put a helping of extra mature Somerset cheddar all over the top. And then all I need to do is put it into the preheated oven and leave it in there for around 30 to 40 minutes. that. Yummy. What do you reckon that is?
Delicious.